Hello, everybody. Welcome to everyone's favorite cardboard game show. It's Showcase Showdown. I'm Mike. That's Chris. Hi, Chris.
Hello. Good to be here after a Chiefs win.
Happy 2-year tubiversary.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Feels good. Feels like we've only been doing this for a couple of weeks, but I know we've been doing it for, I guess, a year, right?
Well, I need to apologize to everybody out there because I was the one that encouraged Chris to start doing YouTube. So I'm really sorry to all of you for really just putting that out in the universe. And no one needs to see Chris's videos. Just kidding. One of my favorite channels. I love your
Well, if you have to apologize for everybody that you encourage to do a video, you could do a full hour video on just that itself. So,
well, I am sitting in the catbird seat over here in season 2 so far. I think I'm up 5-2. Is that right?
You're up 5-2, but how good was that last one that we did?
Oh, Killebrew was amazing. Lots of great comments and lots of encouragement for you, Chris, to keep up the good fight, man.
Yeah. I'd much rather have a win than an encouragement, but
well, when I saw at the end of the Killebrew episode when the wheel hit George Brett, I thought that's a big L for me, no question. So we might as well get this over with. I mean, good grief.
Well, I know I know how good your cards are and what decades you complete. And if I would assume Vegas would have me favored to win this, but the Chiefs were underdogs today too, and they ended up winning. So, I tell you what, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard for me to do very many videos if you do upset me on my player that I collect. And going to be hard.
Tell you what, if I beat you today, you have to retire from YouTube. That's the bet.
Well,
that's probably a little too harsh.
That's a tad bit too harsh. I'll close my Tinder account if I lose. How about that?
Deal. Please, you should close that anyway. But I'm going to quickly talk about our sponsor before we get into George Brett. But I want to say thank you so much to our sponsor of Showcase Showdown. It's the Penny Sleever. If you need any supplies, whatever you need, top loaders, mags, you name it, they've got it at the Penny Sleever. Go check them out. The link will be down below in the show notes. Great products, great customer service, great prices. Improving on those prices if you use the special discount code SHOWCASE. When you place your order, you'll get 10% off. And in this economy, who doesn't need a little bit of help every once in a while? So thank you to the Penny Sleever. Let's get into George Brett, Chris. He's a guy that I watched his entire career. Well, that's not true. Most of his career I watched. I remember him having an epic showdown with Nolan Ryan one time. And obviously the Pine Tar incident. There's a lot of things that George Brett did in his career. And the best thing he did was he was a phenomenal baseball player. Do you think that George Brett, I'm going to put you on the spot instantly with this first question. Was George Brett overshadowed by Mike Schmidt, given the fact that they played pretty much simultaneously?
I don't believe so. One, they played in a different league, right? National League and American League. And I believe that George Brett might be one player that was more valuable to his team than any other player that I got to see play. I mean, if you look at the 80 World Series when they did match up against Mike Schmidt, George Brett was injured. Of course, it was hemorrhoids at the time, but I believe that Mike Schmidt had a better supporting cast than George Brett. And if you look at the '85 World Series where he was incredible. He didn't have much batting behind him in the lineup to protect him. Now, so I don't think he was ever overshadowed, and he was such a delightful interview. He had something to say no matter if he won or lost, and he was, when it comes to the baseball diamond, he was really, he was a fan favorite. So I don't think he was overshadowed by anyone. But that being said, I do believe that Mike Schmidt was a better third baseman than George Brett.
Where would you put Brett? Is he top 10 third baseman all time?
I actually believe that he's number 2. That's what I believe. Well, he just, as far as the war goes, I think he's top 2. He might be, people might have somebody like Chipper Jones maybe, but ahead of him. But I think he's better than Wade Boggs, and I think he's better than Eddie Matthews, and Brooks Robinson was the best defensive third baseman of all time. But just as an all-around player, I have him as number 2, and I think that might be maybe even a general, in general, people believe that. I mean, not by more than 80%, but I bet if you pulled a bunch of YouTubers, old guys that got to see him play, I think they would have him up 2 or 3. How about you? Where do you have him?
3 or 4, probably. I think Boggs is better. More batting titles, higher average. Brett hit for a little more power. I think Eddie Matthews would be up there. But we're slicing greats of all time. Like, this is, not something that's easily quantifiable. I think the top 5 are Schmidt, Brett. I'd have to put Chipper in there too, I guess. Where do you put A-Rod? Was he too much of a shortstop?
He was. To me, he'd be considered. I think he'd be considered a shortstop.
Ripken played third a lot his last few years.
Yeah, nobody considers him a third baseman.
I know. I'm just giving you a hard time. I'd probably put Eugenio Suarez in front of him. But other than that,
I thought maybe you'd throw out Buddy Bell because I think Buddy Bell probably kept Brett from getting another Gold Glove or 2. I think he was underrated as a defensive third baseman.
Buddy got a few over at the.
I think he got 1. Nettles got him early in his career, and Buddy Bell got him later in his career.
No, I was saying Buddy Bell got a few.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
All right. As we get started, why don't you tell everybody how this works, and then we'll get into some George Brett cards.
Okay. Well, to go through. Yes. Again, if you're watching this for the first time, congratulations, because you're getting ready to be hooked, because this is my most fun I have on YouTube, and my most fun rewatching it all week long. So I just love it. Even I know that sounds like I'm bragging a little bit because I'm on here, but it has nothing to do with me on here. It has to do with me getting to see cards. And so pause this thing after I'm done talking and go over and get all your cards of George Brett out of your collection. And if you put them in order, from the newest card, which is, I believe, 94, all the way down to 75, the iconic George Brett rookie card. And what we do is we give each other 5 points for having the card. But we also, if it's slabbed, whatever the grade is on that card, we add it to that 5 points. For instance, if I show a 9 tonight, I'm going to get 14 points for that card. Now, this is my backup plan. So all rookie cards tonight, which is 1, is worth double the points, and that's just how we have it. Midway through, Mike will tally up the points and kind of see where we are. And at the end, he'll tally them up, and the one with the highest score will be the winner of Showcase Showdown. And I need a win in a bad way. So if I have to cheat tonight, I'm going to cheat. I'm not above that morally. And we're going to have a good time, because this one is one that kind of bridges between vintage and new, all the way up to junk wax is what I refer to it as. And so he has, and luckily we're just going by the Topps cards, because almost like Nolan Ryan, he has that many cards. And anyway, it's going to be fun to show these cards.
Yeah, starting in 81 through 94, he's got, if there was a set put out, he was in it, you know. And so we're going to only do the Topps just for the sake of keeping it simple. But let's put us in showdown mode, and you're the visitor, so you get to start with 1994.
Okay. Now I have this this pre-production George Brett, which I love, of that 94 card, but I love that. So, but it's Topps card. I have mine in a 9.
Well, you're starting out with a lead because I have an 8.
Okay, I like the way that sounds. Beautiful card.
And I have that because, you know, I collect the last card of each Hall of Famer, last Topps card.
Okay.
And so that's pretty much the only reason I have it. I would show you. Go ahead.
Are you gonna go after the 90s Hall of Famers in the 90s?
No, I don't plan on it, truthfully.
Okay.
But never say never. But no, that's not my. The 90s were so. I don't even know what to say. I mean, it was a weird time in my collecting. I bought cards still, but not tons of it throughout the 90s, probably starting in 94, you know, because I went to college in 92 through 96. So that wasn't a dark, completely no card period, but it was definitely fewer cards. And I was so into Darryl Strawberry at the time that that was all I was buying. So I don't know. No, probably not. That's a long-winded answer too. Probably
Sure.
not.
No, I get it though. I get it.
So the next few, you're going to pad a lead because I don't have a 93 Topps other than in my complete set, which you said I didn't have to pull out. So I have the card. I get 5 points for it, but that's it. I don't even have it to show though, because I'm not going to pull it out of a set.
And I don't want you to, because I would not want to open up a box just for Showcase Showdown. And I just love getting more points than you on them. So I have an 8.5. That's a beautiful card. Pretty swing. He had one of the prettiest swings of anybody in baseball, one of the most recognizable swings. So I want to, this 93 finest. That's a tough set. And I really like that set. So. Okay, 92 Topps George Brett, and he's just got that beautiful smile. And you know he's having a good time. So I have mine in a 9.
I do have his 92 Ultra because I'm doing this Hall of Famer run because I loved those cards when I was a kid. These were this was my first year of college. I remember buying so many boxes of this because I love the design. I've got that in a 9, but that doesn't count. How about 91?
91. Again, picture perfect swing. Looks like he's swinging and missing, though. I got mine in a 9.
So I think I'm going to do something right now that I'm very surprised. I'm going to show you a George Brett card that I have that I don't think you have.
Okay.
I have the 91 Donruss Elite Series.
You are incorrect, sir.
Dang
I have one. It's not graded.
Dang it. I was trying to get a small, albeit not official victory, but
okay.
Right.
Well,
1990. Keep going. Okay. I don't have the 90 either, other than in the set.
This is my least favorite card of him because he's playing first base, and I have mine in an 8.
That's why it's such a low grade.
Yeah, true.
All right. So just through the 90s, you have built I have 33 and you have 68 and a half.
Well, that feels good. That feels good.
For who? Who does this feel good for?
Me. I tell you what, I'll clean this seat up for you next time on Showcase Showdown so you'll be comfortable over here.
I'm going to try to just not get no hit. We'll see. All right.
Well, this is your chance. It's an 89.
Okay. You want me to go first?
Sure.
All right. This is going to be a theme, but I've got a Gem Mint 10.
Okay. See, you did not get no hit. I have an 8.
But 2 points at a time, I don't think I can make up much of a ground here.
Okay. 88.
Well, I got a cool 89 Upper Deck, first year Upper Deck.
Oh, yeah.
I'm doing that Hall of Famer run. So, all right, 88.
I have a 9.
And I have an 8. So now we'll get going because I'll at least be able to be competitive.
Okay.
87. This is a great card. Good follow through on the swing. I've got a 9 on the 87.
I have an 8.
Man, I got 2 hits.
Oh, yeah.
Hey. Look, when I'm beating the pants out of you most weeks, I don't sit there and make you, feel bad about your cards.
Well, see, you're living in glory days. You're living in the past. That was a long time ago. I don't remember it, but this 86 card, I don't know why I have an 8, and I know I have a 10 somewhere, but I just can't find it.
I have an 8. Do I also get points for his 86 All-Star?
Sure. These are the ones I'm not showing.
Oh, so, fine.
But
85. I have another 8.
I do too.
Brett cards aren't crazy expensive, are they?
No, as they get his last 2 cards that we're going to show tonight are up there. They're hard card though. Second one's hard to get centered, and the other one's just a hard card altogether. But no, you could get these for next to nothing. So there's
80 All-Star.
Oh yeah.
85.
So, and here's another thing with George Brett cards, and I think somebody's going to know this already. He's got an abnormal amount of cards with his hat off, and early vintage cards. That's some of the least favorite cards people have is when they have something airbrushed on their hat or they're not wearing a hat. And he has a lot of them that way. But here's the 84. That's one of him playing defense.
Matching 8s on that one.
Okay.
Here's his 84 All-Star and his 84 Donruss.
Love that card.
But none of them count.
You like that 84 set, though, don't you? That Donruss set.
Yeah, I'm doing the Hall of Fame run there, and I'm down to – actually, I'm done. I got all of them. I need to do a showcase on that.
Well, we don't need to do a showcase showdown on that one, okay? So, 83. Beautiful card.
Oh, you got a 10.
I have a 10.
I have an 8. And then this card always cracked me up as a kid is 83 Topps All-Star. He looks like he's sitting in the dugout. Big wad of chew, pissed off.
Again, without his hat on, So yeah. We're on 82.
Another one without his hat on. I have a 9.
I, too, have a 9.
Then he
This
has
might be a trivia answer for baseball cards. What player has the most cards without a hat?
there's his in action. There's his All-Star from 82. So Brett was well represented in my childhood of collecting. He had cards all over the place.
As a non-Royals fan, what did you guys think of Brett?
Well, the Rangers and the Angels, I mean, the Rangers and the Royals were in the AL West together for a long time, and we could never beat the Royals. So we didn't like him.
Okay.
He was a punk.
Is that right? And
Yeah.
I think Yankees fans say the same thing, the guys that are our age. And I tell you, George Brett to this day, he's not a big Yankees fan. And so I could see why he gets on Rangers' nerves and Yankees' nerves, just the way he played. He played hard. He did play hard. And if people would watch highlights of him and Hal McRae taking out the second baseman when their people were turning two, they could give linebackers how-to videos. So here's a 81 Topps. Now 81, he has a bunch of them, different kind of cards, but here's the 81 without the hat. In a 9OC.
I have a regular straight 9, so man, at least I'm not even within shouting distance right now. 80 Topps.
Well, we're in about halfway through here. You want to wait?
Yeah. We're more than half. No, I really don't want to tell you the score.
Okay. I just want to hear it louder. If you could turn up your volume a little bit so people in the back row can hear this.
I have 155. You have 188 and a half. I am down 33 and a half points.
Okay.
Yikes. 1980. That's the year he hit 390, wasn't it?
That is correct.
And he won the MVP.
Yeah.
And I have an 8.
And I have an 8 stain, so you're going to pick up 2 points there.
Man, I'm feeling foxy.
Now this card here reminds me of his 84 card.
Yeah.
In the 79 Topps, I have a 9.
You mean you have an 8? Jeez.
Yes, I have an 8. My bad. See, I told you I was going to try to cheat. I'm going to do everything I can to pull out this victory.
Thank goodness you actually have to show the cards. 78, another no hat card, but you do got the All-Star Shield, and I have a 7.
I have a 7, and he has a big amount of chew in the mouth like that.
Yes, he does.
Just between his cheek and gum.
You think he just liked his hair so much he took his hat off all the time?
I don't know.
Is Brett the greatest Royal of all time?
Without a doubt.
Okay.
Without a doubt. And he's still in Kansas City. He's revered. He's still up there with Patrick Mahomes. I mean, he garners that much respect, and he's out all the time. I mean, he's in Kansas City at a lot of different functions, and yes, there's no one's close. The closest one probably is Bobby Witt Jr., to tell you the truth.
Well, it's funny because he's notorious in the autograph world as being a terrible signer, and gets pissed at people to ask him for his autograph and whatnot. He never does shows, which is, kind of surprising in this day and age that guys from his, Robin Yount does shows and Schmidt does the occasional show, but nope, not George Brett. So 77, I do like this card. I kind of like everything about it, really. And I've got a 7.
And I have an 8.
Now you're just rubbing it in, aren't you?
Now, this next card, 76, is a tough card, and I like this card. I like it a lot. But I have a 7.
Nice. I have a 7 with the world's oldest PSA flip. That's a hard card to get centered.
Yes, it
All right.
is.
We're down to the rookie. Double points for you.
Okay.
I'll go
Well,
first.
I just wanted to do this because I just wanted to. I got this from Mookie Chilson this year, and what a gift! What a great
Sure.
gift! So I got one. I got that one, and I have a 1.5. So if I was gonna, like I say, I was gonna do this whole John Mangini and show you a bunch of them. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So if you look at that just right, I have 27. No,
I have a 7.
beautiful card. Beautiful card.
I also have a 7. That's one of those. That card's on a lot of lists of, 300 great cards, Hall of Fame rookie, postcard hall or post-war Hall of Fame rookie set, etc. So is his 76, honestly, if I remember right. But
I believe it's going down in price, though. It's not going down in price, but when for the longest time, it was worth more than the Mike Schmidt rookie card, and now Mike Schmidt's rookie card has taken over as the most, I believe, the most expensive in the 70s, and the other one that is up there fairly good is Thurman Munson. But this is an iconic card. It was like just I had to have it as a kid. I would have mowed 50 yards in a week and used every bit of that money for a George Brett rookie card. But the George Brett rookie card has meant a lot to me, Mike, because I paid for my wife's wedding ring using 15 George Brett rookie cards as a down payment for her wedding ring.
that's awesome.
That's why I have these cards graded, this many cards graded here. I'm trying to get 15 George Brett rookie cards back in my collection, just so I can tell that story to my wife.
Love it. Yeah, his him and Yount, right, in 75. They were lucky enough to have rookie cards solo, right, and they didn't get the Fred Lynn, Jim Rice. Who else is in 75? Gary Carter, treatment. And so that makes them just way better looking and all of that. So we don't need to talk about the score anymore. Let's go on straight on to the wheel of names. No, I'm just kidding. Chris, that was a rout. You beat me 273.5 to 240.
Wow. Okay. I don't know. That was I expect that to happen the next. Matter of fact, I look at the wheel now, and I don't see a loss on there. To tell you the truth.
Well, let's look at the wheel.
Oh, do we have to,
Mr. Smarty Pants? And we're down to. We're going to do 6 more episodes this season. Then we'll take another break and come back for season 3 with a whole nother list of names. But right now, we're going to finish this sucker out, and let's see who's next week. Spinning the wheel.
It's going to land on Lou Gehrig, and then you're going to get me right back.
No, but it is going to be Gary Carter. Gary Carter is the next Showcase Showdown. That'll be interesting. I think I have some gaps there. Same story, because he goes into the 90s. I think his last card's 93, and it'll be fun to see. That's a toss up. I think I'll have to.
It probably so. There was a time. I know I have some. I have most, but there's going to be some gaps probably. But he's a catcher. You and I both were catchers, and at one time I wanted to go after catcher runs, and he wasn't the tops on my list. But what a good player, and what a chance to get out Gary Carter cards. I mean, I haven't got out Gary Carter cards in a long time.
Well, you guys will get to see him next week. Chris will be in this seat because he'll be the home team next week. He doesn't know what that's like, but we'll find out next week how he does. Thanks everybody for watching this episode of Showcase Showdown. We'll see you soon. Keep collecting.
Thank you.